So the idea when making a silly party hat is to do it as quickly as possible and to not think about it very much. I am very fortunate. My wife, Anne, is a wonderful watercolorist, but because she works in watercolors, there are many rejects or culls. Watercolor is incredibly difficult medium to work with because you only have the one shot at it. If you attempt to overpaint it, you run into problems. And when that happens, I wind up with another piece of paper to make a silly hat. Okay, what I'm trying to do is to select things that more or less go together. Really don't care, because this is a silly party hat. And as a silly party hat, we can't be too concerned with how things go together. So, okay, well, that's very good. Big hat, big brain. That's my theory. Pictures, I'll worry about that later. So I have to figure out some way to attach this brim with the circular part. I'm going to put these little stubs of paper on so that I can get this brim to fit. That's what I hope to do anyway. I try to keep the staples with the nice flat side on the inside so as not to scratch the head of the recipient of the hat. Okay, I'm going to bend these. So what I'm doing is to try to make the head of the animal. I do this by trying to figure out different sections of the animal. So now I've made all these little cuts in the paper, because now we're going to try to shape this into the head. Before I do that, I'm going to have to add the individual parts, because once I get it stapled together, I won't be able to move it. I am working on the ears at the moment. Let's see what we got here. It's going to look something like that. I don't know if you can see, I'm going to try to staple the eye on. Part of this is I have to imagine myself as a particular creature and how I might look doing the particular activity. Okay. So here we have more or less of a face. We'll see what happens trying to put it together. Okay. So here you have this creature so far. have to try to make a body that will go along with this and do what I hope this creature is able to do. This particular animal's torso is twisting. There's a lot of torque in this movement, so it has to be slightly a kilter. Okay, here's what it's coming along here. Going to make the other arm. See what happens. So I'm trying to get this other arm . So it's going to be quite a swing when he lets it loose, I can tell that. Okay. Oh. Now we're going to try to make a club face, which will be interesting based on my vast knowledge of playing golf. Okay, well, let's see. Fortunately, I have a golfing expert, so he can tell me whether this remotely resembles anything. Is that vaguely reminiscent, or good. We haven't quite?
Oh, that's good.
This is a flat surface that's actually going to go, theoretically, going to go down here. Okay. It's like a fitting thing to use as our base. We're going to mount this. He's got to be able to, there has to be enough distance out here. So the one that, if we can make this work, good for us. Let's see if I can get my stapler in here. Okay. Before I actually try to get this thing to work, I've got to stick the tail on. I'm going to add on extra bit of support for the tail. Let's see if we can get it to stick. Not to my betterment. How am I going to do it? This is how I'm going to do this. Okay. This will work. Trust me. Got to make it so it doesn't fall off. We'll cut the little extra parts off later. And we'll make this more interesting. So this is going to now, going to try to mount the bear on top. People ask why I use a stapler as opposed to some other way. Well, the simple fact is I cannot think of a way that's any faster than a stapler. Whoop, whoop. Hey, so far so good.
Impressive.
Nice. Okay. Sure, you've got to have Little golfing shoes you mentioned. This looks like a golfing shoe to me. Okay. It's going to be about like yay. Let's see, how do we decide? That's the front. Okay. It's going to be about like yay. The ball does need to be about right there, doesn't it? Okay. Whatever. Stuff that in there. This is vaguely reminiscent of a golf ball. Sure. Yeah, okay. How's that? Is that gonna work? Now the weight of this is back here, so we're going to propel the front of it to the front. Okay, we're just going to stable this puppy down. Now, I think we about got this. Okay, that should do it now. Now we're going to shake this up a bit. I want to make this like a real golf course with lots of undulating shapes. Okay, looking pretty good.
Right, it is.
If I only had a club, I could line up on the ball and do something like that. Yeah, this balance seems reasonably good. Well, we come to the end of this particular madness.
I think we do.
What I try to do is to work as fast as I can so it comes out looking like a deranged child did it. Usually I succeed in that more times than not. Part of the fun doing hats for me is I get to do them quickly. Normally I'm working in wax. It takes me a very long time, months, many times. So to be able to do something in a few hours is a lot of fun.